it would frankly be very boring of me to just say that I was excited for Cyberpunk 2077 and leave it at that, because this is a highly anticipated game for a lot of people. Being excited is hardly something interesting. So instead I thought I'd list 5 reasons why I'm excited for this game. 5 things that I look forward to in Cyberpunk 2077. It's worth mentioning that there's tons of stuff to be excited for in Cyberpunk 2077, so be sure to let me know what aspects of Cyberpunk you're most hyped for down in the comments section. But anyway, let's get cracking. First and foremost, we have the immersive open world. Cyberpunk looks to be super immersive above all else. The game doesn't strive to give you a gaming experience, it strives to give you a world experience. It wants you to get lost in Night City, exploring the streets, encountering different people and stories, which is at the forefront of this game. And that'll be great fun to explore. All the districts we've seen in promotional content look and feel different, and they're all complete with unique gangs and characters. There's so much to explore in this game by the looks of it that the open world will become addictive, and for that I can't wait. Night City does not revolve around the player is only a small part of this world. Thousands of NPCs may pass you by every time you play the game, each of whom are going about their own business, which I'd imagine they'll do to varying degrees. Some will be basic and others will be a bit more complex. This open world is meant to feel authentic. On top of this, exploring Night City is rather vertical. There's no specific way in which you'll be forced to explore it. You'll be able to explore different floors in the streets of Night City on various different levels. If you want, you can leave the city, bearing in mind that's not too significant and you can't stray too far because there's nothing else out there. But if you want to say screw this noise, leave the city and then go hide in a ditch somewhere, you can. To my understanding, the world won't be bigger than that of The Witcher 3, but I believe it does intend to be far denser, with much more going on just the same. Everywhere you look, we should come across something new, whether that be a shop or a new story or an encounter we can have randomly. We should be able to well and truly lose ourselves in this world. On top of this, visually the game looks stunning and is sure to play into the immersion a lot. All the neon lighting, reflections and overall great graphical quality will make for a super immersive addition to the overall experience, I'm sure. So all in all, immersion is a big hype point for Cyberpunk. The next thing I look forward to is the game's replay value. Cyberpunk 2077 appears to have a significant amount of that. Of course, we won't know for sure until the game's out, but here's what I mean. The game's foundation is the choices that you make. You can choose different origin stories for your character, known as life paths. From nomad to street urchin or viceroy or whatever the official words are, you can choose to open your adventure on any level of the social chain of Night City. This may alter how people interact with you, how you interact with other characters, and how you're introduced and established in this world. It may alter what quests become available to you and when, and it may make certain quests easier and others harder depending on what those preset backgrounds do for you. On top of this, the dialogue may be different due to your life path, and as a result the bond you form with characters may uniquely hinge on your version of V's backstory. I don't know if it's true to that extent, but I'm just logically rationalizing how this could impact the overall game. You will also be able to make impactful decisions, some of which you may not even notice are significant until long after it's made. So if you choose to talk your way out of a fight as opposed to shoot your way out, I'd imagine that'll have an impact later on if you keep doing it or with those specific characters. Or maybe that'll just have a local effect, as quests in this game are meant to be versatile to account for your approach, so even if the impact is only local, you could replay the game with a different approach and get a new experience again. All your choices have consequences that could either only impact the immediate scenario, or do that and then impact the later stages of the game, or maybe not even impact the immediate scenario but still have an impact later on. Which I say because certain decisions in The Witcher 3 do exactly that. It's also confirmed that Cyberpunk, like The Witcher 3 before it, will be complete with multiple endings depending on decisions you make over the course of the game, so that further applies to the replay value argument. In theory, it is possible that you could be able to replay the game a good couple of times and still feel like you're having a fresh experience. Replay value is always important for a game to have, as it keeps players engaged beyond their adventure. They'll go back and replay it if they feel they'll maybe get a different experience by altering a few details to their approach. Making the character V our own will also play into making the experience our own, which is where the replay value comes in. If you and another player have completely different experiences, then in theory the possibilities are endless. This next point is rather simple. CD Projekt Red. I know it's a weird point to bring up being excited because it's a game made by CD Projekt Red, but I feel like after The Witcher 3, the company name alone gives me assurance of quality. We never know how a game is truly going to be until it has launched, but CD Projekt Red gives me that confidence that Cyberpunk will fully realise what it means to be a modern RPG. Especially considering there are so many subgenres of RPG to the point where the definition of an RPG is convoluted to RPG actually having no meaning anymore, it would be good to see see a game redefine the RPG. And if anyone is capable of that, it's CD Projekt Red. So yes, one of the things that I'm excited for with Cyberpunk is based on the fact that it's made by CD Projekt Red, who made The Witcher 3, which is one of my favourite games of all time. I can't wait to see how this game plays and feels in my hands and keeps itself fresh and interesting, as well as feed you the content in an organic way that sustains your interest in playing it. I have little to no doubt that this game is going to be an absolute blast, and CD Projekt Red, if anybody, knows how to deliver that experience within the RPG genre. This point doesn't need much explaining. Keanu fucking Reeves. Need I say more? He plays Johnny Silverhand, who is sorta like in our conscience or something as we experience the story. I can't imagine having anybody cooler in my head than Keanu Reeves. I know we've known this for well over a year now, but come on man, the excitement for that can never get old. Of course, the final point would have to be about customization. Customization would be a huge point of excitement for a game called Cyberpunk, in which the norm in the universe is to customize your own body with cybernetic implants. You'll be able to customize your character's appearance off the bat, to my understanding, vehicles too, and then from there you can acquire upgrades and skills to truly mold V into a very personalized vessel to experience this world in. You'll be able to mold yourself into whatever kind of cyborg you want to be. I can't imagine the game lets you go full cyborg like this wanker, but considering the premise of Cyberpunk alone, I can imagine that there'll be in-depth customization regarding what you can do. Enhancements may provide perks and benefits, but they may also have setbacks that you have to consider, which makes it thoughtful in customization as well. So you can't augment yourself willy-nilly. You have to take into account the playstyle you're going for and the sacrifice you make to be able to use this augmentation. So how you customize V may indeed play into your playstyle as well. And then there's aesthetic customization, which for the most part you probably won't see, though I do believe in certain cutscenes you will be able to see this. So I guess that has some value as well. And I imagine the customization runs beyond V. As we mentioned, I do believe you can customize vehicles, but I'd also imagine, now I can't remember if you can or can't, but I can't imagine that you wouldn't be able to, that you'll probably be able to customize your weaponry to fit your playstyle more. Beyond this, to my understanding, clothing may also have a value beyond being simple cosmetic items. It may offer protection or cause other characters to treat you different based on how you look, so higher class looking clothing may allow for you to blend in more with the elite and draw less attention. And if that's not the case, we at the very least know that your clothing offers statistical values such as resistance to certain damage types, and so when customizing your clothing you'll also want to keep in mind what you might be facing. And so customization in this game is going to be thoughtful and will require you to take into account the playstyle that you're going for. Then of course you have your skill trees and your perks, which I'd imagine really allow you to invest in a playstyle. And so the overall topic of customization in this game seems to be incredibly deep, which is exactly what it needs to be. And so there you go, those are 5 things that I look forward to in Cyberpunk 2077. Let me know what you look forward to down in the comment section. As far as I'm aware, the game is still set to launch on the 19th of November, but you never know, it's been delayed twice. The release date is the only thing I'm not confident about. CD Projekt Red seem confident they can hit that date, but even still. But I'm just being silly, I don't actually think there'll be another delay, and if there is, well, I'll cry. This is by far my most anticipated game of 2020, and I'm damn certain I'm not the only one who thinks that way. And so, with any luck, come the 19th of November, this game proves to be everything that it needs to be and more. But this is where I will conclude today's video. Thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, that would be fantastic. And with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, but until next time, take care and goodbye.